Data nationalism is on the rise. Defined loosely as the effort by nation-states to ensure control over data for a range of normative and security-based reasons. The once heralded vision of a free, open, and globally interconnected Internet has been replaced by an increasingly strong push to demand data be stored locally, erect virtual borders, and keep foreign influence out, motivated by an array of economic, normative, and security-related costs. Relatively free flow of data has already proven to be economically significant force. Globally, McKinsey analysis finds that, over the past decade, data flows have increased world GDP by 10.1%. Yet at the same time studies show that data localization and other barriers to data flows impose significant costs, such as reducing GDP by 1.7% in Brazil, China, the European Union, India, Indonesia, Korea, and Vietnam, which have all either proposed or enacted data localization policies. Nationalism is gaining strength in the emerging data economy. Some even use the term data patriotism. In academic literature, the term used is data sovereignty. Regardless of the term, the fact is that today, over 132 countries have implemented their own set of data regulations. The number of national data protection laws has grown rapidly, but major gaps persist. Some countries have no laws in this area, some have partial laws, and some have laws that are outdated and require amendments. Companies that fail to remain compliant face hefty fines and possible expulsion, take TikTok, for example. It is not only about social media data alone. Legal data constraints around the world in different countries include, for example, applicants for a gaming license to store all data related to operations in Bulgaria locally. All credit information on Chinese citizens to be processed and stored in China. All data from public administrations has to be considered as archives and therefore stored and processed in France. Data on residents can only be stored on cloud computing services located in the state. These are just a couple of examples. In short, given the above fluctuating and complex set of laws and data protection acts, it is getting harder to comply with all the various requirements while acting as data provider in the global data economy. And yes, data nationalism can be considered as a threat to your global data economy-related business. Data nationalism slows down economic growth. The most significant negative impacts of data nationalism are lost trade and investment opportunities, higher information technology costs, reduced competitiveness, and lower economic productivity and GDP growth. Favors global giants over local startup. These policies represent a new barrier to global digital trade. Cutting off data flows or making such flows harder or more expensive puts foreign firms at a disadvantage. This is especially the case for small and solely internet-based firms and platforms that do not have the resources to deal with burdensome restrictions in every country in which they may have customers. Governments across the world are putting up barriers to the free flow of information across borders. Driven by concerns over privacy, security, surveillance, and law enforcement, governments are erecting borders in cyberspace, breaking apart the World Wide Web.